Now, a second type of tweet that's very interesting to do, and it's actually what I advise that you start with, is the longer story type tweet. So it's a format I really focused on when I started, and I still do a lot today, where basically you tell a short story in a tweet. It's not a thread, it's actually a tweet, but you make use of, almost the maximum number of characters so you can make sure that your story is understandable. Usually, the best way to do this is to share an experience that you had. If you're starting and you don't have many followers and just tell people what they should do, like you start saying, this is what you should do, this is my advice, nobody's going to take you seriously. And a lot of people will start replying to your tweets and say, this is not how it is, you're wrong. It's going to be very negative and not very helpful to grow. But if you share your story, you're vulnerable, you're authentic, and then you say, here's what I learned instead of here's what you should do, people will love it because they will see you're humble and they will actually open themselves to being impacted by your lesson. They will see what you've been through and want to see if they can learn something from it. So you will gain super high quality followers from this, and you will also connect deeply with people on a deeper level. Now, the key to do these is to not just say what you've been through, it's to say what you've been through and then talk about a lesson that you learned. Because if you just say, today I was talking with a client and I messed it up and he ended up not calling me back and I lost the job. Okay, cool. So, what, do you want to depress me or something? It's not inspiring. It's not like people are not going to engage with that. What you do instead is you do, oh, I had a client today, it went wrong, and I lost the job. But what I learned from it is this. So next time it won't happen again and I will succeed. Boom. Two things changed. First, it's hopeful instead of negative. So generally, people are going to be more engaging with it because it's more positive. And second, you have a takeaway lesson that people can learn from because you learn something from it and you share it with them. So now they can learn something too. But they're not in the position of reading a short tweet and thinking, oh, this person is telling me what to think. No, they're reading your experience and what you took away from it. So they're going to be more open to receiving the same truth. Because if you're just sharing your life, people are not going to be interested. And if you're just sharing lessons, you're not building a deep connection. So the key is to do both. You share something that happened to you and then the lesson that you learned from it. The key to a good story tweet is to have two parts. First, you start with something that you failed at. So here I say, I built my startup in isolation for 2 years, thought I could just start marketing at the end, but I failed miserably. So you start with a failure, a pain, or a mistake that you made. But you don't stop there, because if you stop there, it's just depressing and nobody's going to engage. Then you say what you learned from it. So what I learned is that because it takes time to build relationships and brand awareness, and here's what I'm going to do different next time. I should have started from day one. So you have pain, resolution, and lesson. And that's how you turn something that can be a bit boring, like, oh, there's something bad that happened to me, into a story that inspires people and make them want to retweet and engage with it. Now, something to keep in mind with this kind of tweets is it's not going to get as many likes as if you do a short tweet. If you do a short tweet and you have the authority, you can get thousands of likes easily. Reason is, it's so easy to read, people instantly react to it. Same with a meme or any kind of short tweet like that. But with a longer story tweet, some people will skip it. But the beauty of it is the people who do engage, because it's something authentic, genuine, and they can learn from, they will appreciate it a lot. And to give you an example, today, if I make a short tweet and I get 1,000 likes, I'm going to get about 25 followers from it. But if I do a long tweet, a story about something I went through with a lesson in there, and I get 1,000 likes, I'm going to get 100 or 150 followers, like 4 times or 5 times more followers, because it connects with people emotionally. If you just do a short tweet, it's very consumable and disposable. They're just going to read it and forget it. But if you bring yourself into it, you talk about your story. I went through this, and this is what you can learn from it. You might lose some people like superficially, but a lot of people will like connect with you and become closer to you. And that's the best way to build an audience of people who are fans of your content and actually interested in you and not just the content. So you don't have to be a perfect writer, you don't have to master your ideas. You can just like share something that happened to you, make sure you turn it into a lesson, and at the end of it, people will appreciate it, engage with you, and connect with you on a deeper level. For my first 6 months of Twitter, I only did that. I mean, I tried short tweets for a while, but it wasn't working. So I switched to long story tweets, and I did that every day for 6 months, nothing else but that and memes. People could really, connect with me. And I got a lot of fans this way. People who tell me, wow, you really inspired me. People who send me DMs telling me my story is touching them. This doesn't happen as much with short tweets because you don't have this human connection thing. So it's really what I advise you to do when you get started is to avoid short tweets and do longer story tweets where you share your experience.